Right, good evening everybody. It's President's News on the 30th of September 2020. It is a truly wet and dreary last Wednesday in September. But despite the weather, I can tell you there is a hardy cohort of runners who've come down for their regular outing. Perhaps this is in advance of the virtual London Marathon taking place at a road, park, field, promenade, pitch near you this Sunday. Meanwhile, the elite runners are running around a closed course in St James's Park, aided by special social distancing technology, such as the world that we live in. I can see a few people joining the feed. We're going old school back on the Facebook feed. Hi to Alice Platt. Hi Nick Swatton. Peter Rogers, Vice President. Good evening to you, sir. Nice to have you with us. Last Sunday, there were two races which successfully went ahead with Blackheath and Bromley representation. The Folkestone half, we had at least 11 BB Harriers runners. We had Roger Villadell, who was previously of Petswood Runners, gave a great account of himself on his first run out for the club. He came home in an hour 14:01 for the half marathon down in Folkestone. Some great pictures on Facebook by Jackie Montgomery, by the way, which you should have a look at. The conditions were atrocious. Hi, John Wakeman, how are you? I've got a pole vaulter next door having his dinner. We also had in that race Tony Crowder, Ian Scott, Damien Hayes, Tim Ayres, Steve Pearman, Mark Wallace, Ian Montgomery, Glenn Reed, Ian Swatton and Dave Leal. Hi Pat Calnan, how are you doing? Then we also had the Hever Castle Marathon, and that was the same day, 27th of September. Martin Richardson was home in 3 hours 19:12. He may have won that. I'm trying to find exact details because I do know that Steve Evenden, who was the first over 40, was the third person in the race, coming home in 3 hours 31.18. So great performance from those two guys in the marathon down at Hever. Hi Rob Brown, hi Karen Desborough. Margaret Baldwin, how are you, past president? Nice to see you this evening. Pretty wet and dreary up here. Hope it's nice and warm where you are down there with John. Away from the road running, there's a performance from one of our young athletes that I really must mention, and that is Daisy Snell, who is a very promising first year under 15 athlete. Daisy is a very good multi-eventer, and to underline that, she won the English Schools virtual multi-event competition. So that really bodes well for next year. So hopefully the proper English schools will be on next year and Daisy can really smash that out of the park. So very well done to Daisy and to all of those coaches, and I know there have been a few that have been collaborating on her running, jumping and throwing and really combining. It's a great team effort all round and a great performance for her. So really well done to everyone about that. This past weekend, the trustees and the management committee all gathered at the clubhouse for a socially distanced AGM in the garden. It was absolutely freezing. You can see the film, or certainly the film of one of the highlights on YouTube. And I really want to highlight that part of the AGM, which was the election of the three vice presidents. That was Nigel Stickings, Dave King and Pete Rogers. Why I want to highlight it is because all three had solemnly kept quiet since the start of the year when immediate past President Julian Golding invited them to join the ranks of vice presidents. And I think that must have been very, very hard for them. So take my hat off to them. And also thank you for all that they do for the club. And it's great to get that recognition for those three guys as well that do so much. So well done to all of you. Do watch their investiture on the YouTube channel if you haven't. There's a fantastic amateur YouTube film of that great event. And finally, I will say hello to the walking group who are up in Malham that would be normally down here. So the beer takings at Wednesday night have collapsed. as a result. I hope you have a signal up there. I can't see any of you on the feed, so maybe not. But especially while you're up there, I want to give credit to David Appleton, who has covered for Dennis Laurie while Dennis and Hazel were away in New Zealand. I have had the happy news that Dennis and Hazel are back, but they're self-isolating at the moment. Living at the clubhouse as I do, I see the work that goes on behind the scenes, and David has interpreted guidance that Boris Johnson can't even remember, and set up, elaborate one-way systems with stickers across the floor, really professionally done, QR scans as well on the doors. This is on top of everything else that he does for the club as a trustee, treasurer and vice president. So I'll say to David and to the rest of the gang, enjoy your trip. It's nice to see the Steinleys on the field, on the feed. Hope you're both doing well. Hope little Isla is doing well as well, we'd love to see her at some stage down the track when things are back to normal. Anyway, that's the end of your Presence News for this evening. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you're having you're tucked up safe and warm where you are, because it is absolutely dreadful down at 56 Bourne Way. But the people are downstairs. They're keeping warm in the weights room. Socially distanced, tables of 6, David Appleton, and if people are standing up, they are wearing a mask. So there you go. We're fully compliant, and we will have everybody out well before 10 o'clock. All right, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening, everyone, and speak to you soon. Bye.